Hi and welcome. I'm going to share with you a little bit of information about pendulums and personal power. You may have seen pendulums about and wondered maybe how they work, or you may already have one and maybe want to know a little bit more possibly about it. We do teach pendulum workshops which correlate to the aspects of the highest self. Pendulums can come in a variety of materials, sizes, colours and shapes. You'll see on the video that we're going to be using some crystal ones, and each one is a different crystal. That does make a difference to the energy being used and what you can or may use it for. If you're going to go and choose a pendulum, it can be quite overwhelming in terms of that which may be available for you. Pendulums are not only just divination tools in themselves, they have no magical powers. They're neither good nor bad within themselves. They're not related or do not correlate to any specific belief, religion or practice. They are a way of being able to be used as a tool to assist in connecting back to the higher aspects of self and inner wisdom consciousness. Sometimes the connection to our higher self and inner guidance can be difficult to access, or we may have no conscious awareness of it. And sometimes in life, when we may be under duress or stress, feeling anxious, or have a lot going on emotionally, then we do not easily access those parts of ourselves where we actually can get the guidance from. It isn't always easy to be able to connect to those parts of self. How you can feel can also influence the response that you get from a pendulum. And usually when we really want an answer is when we are feeling stressed or under duress. And we may be feeling agitated or upset or concerned about something. We do offer meditation practices through our workshops which we can offer to be able to assist you in coming back to the place of centered, quiet balance, regardless of that which may be going on within life. Our workshop also connects you to your higher self and strengthens this connection. So the pendulum is a tool in which you can use to be able to connect back to your personal power and your higher self wisdom and guidance. Sometimes the pendulum will actually work by creating a flow of energy throughout one side specifically of the body that may be holding the pendulum in the hand, either left or right. It will also give the space from the personality chatter to be able to give the higher self the space to be able to connect through with its inner guidance or wisdom. A little bit like getting out of the way so that you can hear, feel, sense or know a direct response from your own higher self. The ones that we have here to show you is this one is one of the stones, the Brazili blue stone, that is also made within a Stonehenge. So what you would do is hold your crystal and steady it first, and they will usually move to the left or to the right. So when you get your crystal, you just let it steady, and then you will ask it, show me yes. So obviously that's left to right, and then you will say, show me no. So that is backwards and forwards. So yes is left to right, and no is backwards and forwards. And different crystals will sometimes go different ways. And if you hold it in your dominant hand, you'll probably get a different response to the non-dominant hand. Sometimes they will go round and round clockwise, and sometimes they'll go round anti-clockwise. Usually with a pendulum, you're only going to ask a simple yes or no. You'll notice here that we have the aventurine. The aventurine is a very, very gentle crystal, so you may like to think in terms of balance, of calm, serene with the green. So you would say to the crystal, show me yes. And once you get a clear idea of which way it's actually going to go, and then sometimes you have to quieten it and calm it when it gets a little bit overexcited with the energy, and then show me no. And it'll go the opposite direction. And generally that will stay the same once you have made the connection for it to be the yes or the no answer. And then we have clear quartz. And again, you would take a moment and you would connect in with that, quieten yourself a little and just say, show me yes. And then once you've got a clear idea of which one is yes, then you'll stop and say, show me no. You can see the difference already with the energy of the clear quartz. Clear quartz is a fantastic for clarity and focus. Clear quartz, being the master generator, can be used for anything and everything. And this specific shape can be used for a whole variety of different things, including gridding. It is always like a prism, a reflection of that which might be going on at all levels, at a soul level included. And with that which may be transpiring at the moment in terms of divine will, a lot of that is coming to awareness and the forefront of the consciousness of each individual and also humanity as a whole. So divine will is actually the part of oneself that is very much connected to the higher aspects of self, like the soul, where the personality has to take a little step back. The personality likes to be in control. It likes to have the personal power and dictate from the ego. However, once we start talking about divine will, then that really becomes about stepping into your own personal power at all levels by releasing some of the will attachment to outcome, to form. Because once divine will starts to be developed, to be strengthened, then you start to work at a conscious level, which is completely different from day-to-day personality awareness. And everything seems different from perspective also. When you will to divine will, you let go of the outcome, intending that it be for the highest good, taking from and harming none. So it becomes a conscious decision to begin to really work on an energy level with oneself and in general within life. And this one is the Unakite. You may like to think of being anchored and grounded and stable with the Unakite. So if you've got something like the Unakite, you can begin to think of things like influence daily life, physical health and well-being. So you can take a moment now, and if there is a question that you may like to have an answer for or to ask, quietly take a moment within yourself, placing the hand upon the solar plexus and the heart if required. And take a moment and think to yourself of a question. We'll have a yes or no answer. So we will ask the pendulum, show me yes. Okay, so that's backwards and forwards. And then we will ask, show me no. And you'll see that's the opposite way. Okay, so you take a moment and you ask a question that may come to mind. And we hold it steady. And then we ask the question. Just hold that steady. And so that would be a no. And generally you'd ask the same question 3 times. However, you never give your power, your personal power, away to the crystal pendulum or any form of pendulum that you have. Personal power always comes from within. The crystal or the pendulum in general is a tool to assist. Always go with the truth of oneself and never rely upon a single tool to assist you. They are there as a general guide. So this one's Moonstone. So you may like to think about letting go. You may like to think about if there's something that you want to clear. You may like to think about the moon in general and also the fluidity of the feelings and the thoughts. But you may also like to think of the fluids within the body also and the correlation of that to the whole of self. So there are lots of ways you can have your crystals and your pendulums and clean them. You can have them out of lots of different materials, lots of different shapes. Different shapes will have different influences and effects depending which ones that you choose. This is one of the macabre ones. You may or may not know the macabre is a light body vehicle through which we can travel interdimensionally. We can build it through various energy works if it's appropriate at this lifetime. Everybody's different. So you may like to think of travel. How may you journey through life? You may like to think of travelling and your own personal energy space, where you have been from the past, where you would like to go forwards in the present. You will notice the spheres which are actually around outside the macabre shape. And this is indicative of many things. You may like to think of the circle, continuum. And you'll also notice the point of the pendulum coming down because that's where the energy is focused. Comes down through the arm, from the higher self, down through the arm, and then down through the pendulum. So they're really used for focusing awareness, focusing attention, creating a sense of space within to be able to access those parts of yourself that connect to the higher guidance within. A tool that can be used to assist. So there's lots more we share on the pendulum workshops, and it does involve connecting to those aspects of your personal power and higher self. Thank you for taking this time to join me.